God is about to prosper you in all realms of your reality. Your fruits are about to be fruiting, but God is giving us the codes on how our fruits are about to be fruiting, on how our fruits do fruit. Because we don't know how sometimes, right? You're like, okay, well, how is God going to prosper me? What do I need to do to align with this prosperity? What do I need to do to align with this wealth transfer? And that's why God is saying this to you today. So the key is purity. And the big way on how I've been pure and stay pure is through getting into the Word daily. And something that's been helping me is the app Haven. On my lock screen, I get a new Bible verse every single day. And it has just really changed my perspective, because I'm like, not only am I getting into the Word, but I'm seeing the Word subliminally on my on my home screen every single day, which is shifting my mind, because that's what we need to be doing. We need to be in the Word, like praying ceaselessly almost all the time, like literally all the time, all day, every day, because the fight against us is real, but no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And guess what? Jesus Christ has already won the war, so they've already lost all the darkness. So anyways, 1000% recommend you guys go check that out and put it. You guys can use the app called Widgets, and that's what I used, and then I synced it with the Haven app, and then I have that Bible verse that will go up every, I'll show you guys how to do it and stuff. So okay, so much love. So we're going to be talking about how God is literally making us like a new people, like we are made new. So God is calling us to be pure, to be pure, to be pure, to be pure. So in Titus 2 verse 12, it says, it teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age. So, and then going into chapter 3, verse 3. At one time, we too were foolish, disobedient, deceived, and enslaved by all kinds of passions and pleasures. We lived in malice and envy, being hated and hating one another. But the kindness and the love of God, our Savior, appeared. He saved us, not because of the righteous things we've done, but because of His mercy. So because of His mercy and because of our devotion to Jesus Christ, that's literally what's going to change us. But we have to be disciplined, and we have to keep pursuing being like Jesus. And that is the sauce. That is the sauce. That is how we are prospered, because a man, a woman is what they sow into their life. So when we sow obedience through choosing to be like Jesus, through choosing to be the purest, best version of ourselves, like what does that look like, right? Like what is everyone doing on the planet? Anything evil, right? This world is inverted. So whatever the evil is that is normalized, okay, right? We can go into negative thinking. It can be simple like that. So that means take every thought captive, transmute it into a pure thought. How would Jesus think, right? What would Jesus think about? We transmute the thoughts. Every single thought. That is how we reprogram our mind, because we have fallen into sin. So we've had open doors, which has allowed the devil to come in, and the devil has been the programmer. Okay, you know how we talk about the matrix programs you? Well, that is the devil. The devil programs you, and that is what creates strongholds, which create habits, which create thinking patterns. And so you have to take every thought captive and transmute the thought into a pure thought aligned with Jesus Christ, aligned with God, aligned with the kingdom of heaven. And same thing with what we're speaking, right? We need to hold our tongue. Like the power of life and death is in the tongue. So we need to hold our tongue. What are we saying? Are we speaking life? And so even if you have some kind of authority in some way, like we have to always be speaking life. We're never speaking death. We're always speaking life over our person, speaking life over ourselves, speaking life over our kids, our families, our friends, strangers. Like, yes, we sometimes are angry, but still in a life way we speak. So, and yes, there is righteous anger, but yeah. So the thinking, the speaking. Now, what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Because guess what? We've all been in wickedness. Nobody gets a free pass. Not even the most righteous people that walk our planet have gotten a free pass. Every single one of us has been in some kind of wickedness. And so now Jesus Christ has made us new. So now we have to reprogram, because we have free will, and we have to be consciously aware. So what is programming you, right? What are open doors? The negative movie, the horror movies, the sexual movies, the books, the horror books, the sexual books, okay, all of these things, TV shows, music, okay, it's all programming you subliminally through your brain, and you have to be like, okay, no, like, would Jesus do that? Would Jesus watch that? Would Jesus read that? And that is how we prosper. And it's not like we're prospering just like financially, because when you hear prosper, you think financially. God is going to prosper you in all realms of your life. So your realms of, your relationships, your health, your land, your home, your education, your knowledge. Okay, God's gonna prosper you, and your mind, peace in your mind and your nervous system. All the things, you're gonna have peace because God's gonna prosper you in all realms. But we have to be running towards God all day, every day. That means like literally being like, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Like all the time. Like there is no days off. We are always asking, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? There you go. So God is moving, and purify yourself through the strength that Jesus Christ gives you and the free will that we have.